full 11 hours to make it up this climb after an already very exhausting morning, fighting off griffins nearly to the death for some of you. And then just when you thought your day was coming to a long but finally an end, an earth puppy jumped out at you and seemed not to like you infringing on its territory. You handily defeated that creature as well, before finally making your way into the town of Kosi, which was seemed to be a lot of activity at one sort of central building, but you didn't really pay attention. You didn't even see the name of the inn you're staying at before you paid for your baths and rooms and beds that you wouldn't even notice if they weren't soft from your deep exhaustion. And you all took a long rest. The morning comes faster than you would have thought possible, and though you've slept for 8 hours, there's still a level of weariness to your bones that from your adventures and trials of the day before, muscles you didn't even know existed hurt and ache as the sun pours through the window after a couple of days of clouds, pours through the window of your shared room in the mining town of Kosi in Redona.
Do we still have a level of exhaustion, or are we done with that?
Yes, because you gained a level when you took as long as you did.
Perfect.
Because you spent more than 8 hours you spent 11 hours doing hard work. But then you still have one level.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure my math was correct, because you never know. My math is usually not correct.
And then just, if you need those adjusted, let me do it because of the weird... Right. I guess their version of exhaustion makes sense in 2024, but I do kind of like the sort of different effects that it has in 2020 and 2014, the versions.
Yeah.
It is probably around, frankly, mid-morning, because you had started sort of your trek yesterday later in the morning, 11 hours. It's pretty, it was pretty late when you got in, so it was probably about mid-morning at this point.
Oh, right. So, are we at the town that we needed to be in? Or do we still have... okay.
Yes, so you are... I'll move the little circle. That's in the wrong window. Oh my gosh. Oh no, everything went away. Wait, where's stuff go? Oh, what's happening? Oh, okay. Word got crazy on me. And I'm trying to adjust my windows, so Foundry is the main one. There we go. Let me move your is because we don't have a cute little party image where it's going to use a little pink circle. You guys are you're in the town of Kosi.
Kosi. Okay.
I got a little donut now. If you're in the dot.
So it is like mid-morning, you said?
Yes.
So I guess we need to go, like, see what we can help to be useful, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sort of follow Fendir's lead.
Yeah, what does Fendir have to say about this? What to do next?
My lead, right. This is sort of my thing. Seemed like there was a sort of rescue evacuation effort seemed sort of centered in the town square last night. I admit I wasn't looking too hard because I was also exhausted and things like that. But if there's anyone here who, if we should go find Ironbrow, the sort of owns the mine, leads the town, sort of his workers at risk, his profits at risk, probably would have the best sense of things. If he's not trapped down there. So we find out what happened to him, and then where he's at, and then if not him, whoever's in charge will be led to whoever's in charge right now. If he was in the mine collapse.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask the person who owns this place, because they might have heard something about whether or not that guy was trapped in the mines, or if they're out and about.
Yeah,
that seems plausible.
That seems good.
All right, Firen will go down to like the common area and go try and talk to the owner.
You guys go down to the sort of dining common area. It's of this inn and tavern. It's a pretty cozy room. There's already a fire going in the sort of public hearth, although it is already pretty warm out. It's sort of summertime still in Prismara. But it does offer a really nice glow to the room. Across the walls are sort of different generations. These are notice all the details you just sort of passed right by the previous night. And you see sort of vintage and antique mining equipment, like decommissioned sort of drills, pickaxes, things like that, as well as sort of different displays of the different minerals and ores that are mined within the sort of realm of Kosi. And sort of bustling around, you see, as most dwarven people are, a shorter, stout, feminine person with a sort of very neatly trimmed goatee, long, dark, thick eyelashes, blonde hair swept back into two braids, and sort of, familial and sort of matronly in the way of not wouldn't be your mother's, but definitely feels like an older sister sort of energy already. As she sort of spots you, says, "Hi, my weary travelers. Welcome. Didn't get to meet you much last night, but can I get you some breakfast?"
I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want breakfast? I don't really care, but
we were primarily wondering if you could help us learn the whereabouts of Ironbrow? Ironbrow?
Yes.
Which one? There's a whole clan of them.
The one in charge of everything.
Brock? Yeah. What are you looking for Brock for?
We're here to help with the mind collapse. And
okay. Well, that I'm sure the folks over at in the square will be mighty grateful to hear that. Well, let me get you some breakfast just so you have some energy to do that. And she sort of pulled out like from a big tureen, just sort of scoops out a big eggs with various vegetables and like fried potatoes, sort of all mixed in together with some cheese. A lot of just like protein and carbs that you'll need for a busy day of helping. And she'll sit you down at the bar since it seems like you're sort of raring to go. They'll be grateful to hear you're here to help. Most of the folks who would help are trapped down in the mine, so it's been pretty slow going and scary days the past couple days. Brock, he is leading the efforts from up top. He hasn't been down in the mines too much recently, sort of leading things from his office. But his son and daughter are down there, so I think he is really raring to get people out. This awful disaster. The big wheel sort of collapsed down the shaft, if you didn't know. So the main thing just can't get people in or out, can't get anything in or out, is what I heard from my friend who's a friend who's dating the cousin of the fourth Ironbrow. Not heir, because that would be like the sons and Brock's
right,
third or fourth.
Right.
But yeah, I heard things are pretty nasty over there. Lots of people were down there when everything happened. Yeah.
So where is this Brock?
Right. So if you look out the window, we're here. And the sort of town hall, sort of his office, his town hall, it's right there. It's you'll go out and you'll take a right, and it'll be right there. And you look out the window and you see that you are in fact two buildings over, across a sort of central square. To a large building that has a lot of the doors are open, a lot of people are going in and out, a lot of folks with tools that don't really seem like they are used to wielding those tools, maybe a little bit less stout, a little bit sort of clumsy in the whole handling of the things, sort of congregating and sort of in and out.
Can we take those breakfasts to go? So
absolutely. Here, and she will sort of slop each of your plates into folded up paper cones, which is already starting to sort of be stained with grease.
Great.
It is imagine an ice cream cone, but it's scrambled eggs.
Well, how did you know that's all I've ever wanted?
You come back having saved those people, and drinks around the house.
We very much appreciate your help, ma'am.
Yes, one round of drinks around the house. This is establishment. Gotta, you know. But we'll get you a round of ales, what have you. Well, good luck. I hope you don't fall to your deaths or end up collapsed yourself.
Thank you.
And yeah, have a cozy day.
Aww,
that's adorable. So I guess we eat our scrambled egg coats and walk two old houses over, two buildings over.
You said Fendir is eating theirs ravenously. This is clearly one of their most favorite ways to eat a meal is in a cone. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird to us, but like, there's certainly weirder things.
It's actually very. I mean, you know, it's actually a very convenient way to eat a meal while you're walking, is to hold it with a thing, because a plate's so unwieldy.
Yeah.
You can get French fries in cones. You get, you know, gyros kind of come in cone. Anyways, but yeah.
Listen, Vanya doesn't even do finger food, so this is a lot for him.
This is not a finger food. He doesn't have to touch it at all.
Yes, but this is perhaps even a step further.
Great. Well, does Vanya eat it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Can we have like one plastic fork that he can use?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have like mess kits and things in your pack. So if Vanya wants to eat his with a fork and knife while walking,
Vanya retrieves his darn silverware.
Great.
He is a civilized gentleman.
Vanya does. With your passive perception, you see people sort of looking at you like, is he eating an egg cone with a fork?
This is not the first time people have looked at him like he's being strange. Vanya's immune.
That's very fair. This is honestly, you know, Vanya probably doesn't faze him too much. Your trio approaches the sort of main door of this bustling sort of weirdly combination, like business office and also town, like municipal building, that is sort of a mix of sort of people like administrators sitting at desks and things, as well as sort of myriad like mining equipment and sort of like gear. And right now there is sort of a group gathered around a sort of central table, all not conspiring. That sounds ominous. Discussing with a big sort of map, sort of looking document from far away, at least is what you think, around the table. Sort of at the head of the sort of table is an older dwarf. They're all solidly built because they're dwarves, but this one is a degree wider, a degree taller. That sort of combination that like Olympic strongmen have, where they're like clearly strong, but there's also that layer of like fat cushion that is just sort of like it's all functional muscle, with long sort of wild black hair, dark thick brows that almost meet in the center, that sort of overtake his eyes, with a big bushy mustache, that sort of almost, that is it's quite the feat, because it almost is more you notice the mustache before you notice the long beard, which is in itself a feat for this for these people. His nose looks like it's been broken. And he seems to be sort of directing and leading the conversation with his, but you notice as you approach, his left shoulder is in a sling.
Okay, is he like a lord, or like is there a proper title to address this man with?
I feel like this is the moment in which Vanya turns to Fendir, like, you know the cultural customs. This is your
not a lord, just the guy who like runs things and like he it's a company town, and he owns the company and therefore runs the town. But we don't really have the lords or ladies or nobility, the name or title.
What was his name again?
Brock. Brokk.
The C.
Not a C. It's fantasy world. It has to be slightly different. And that's an Iron Brow, which is IRONBROW, what it sounds like, but just in case.
I just assumed he would have the word rock in his name.
Listen, I actually didn't really think about the fact that Brock has the word rock in it until just now.
You're so real for that.
And I appreciate myself for that, but didn't previously. Just felt right for some reason.
Yeah. And now you know why.
Before you fully, Fendir sort of under their breath say, right, I don't know Brock directly, sort of more of a friends with his old friends with his son. His friend contacted me. Knew I sort of was in the PRISMA at the time. So don't know how much help I'll be in this situation beyond the fact that I'm, but yeah, happy to help I'll make the introduction. Excuse me. Yes, hello. And the sort of full table of folks pile around it, look up, like clearly annoyed that they're being interrupted. Yes, I'm Fendir Copperbane, of the, Copperbanes. I'm here with some friends. Yeah, look, we're looking to help. Heard things are not going great. And then Fendir will look to you guys like, I'm usually in a mine smith or my jewelry, my workshop, and I'm not usually out here doing this part of it.
I'm Farron Korath. This is. I'm just now realizing I can't think of Vanya's last name.
Vanya's house with the Order of the Aperture.
We saw the disaster happen on Prism's Day.
You saw it happen?
Yes.
We heard it more than saw it, really.
Well, from Prisma, all the way?
Yes, we did, in fact, hear it all the way from Prisma.
We were attending a party in one of the tall buildings that are there. So we sort of saw it happen, mostly heard it. But
it was rather loud in a way that may perhaps even have defied the laws of physics, which is fascinating.
Nevertheless, we are here to help.
This
we are here as representatives of the council, the PRISM, whatever they're called. Vanya knows. It's
The
been too
Council
long
of
since you heard
Colors,
their
I
names.
think.
Yes, we are here on behalf of the Council of Colors to assist however we can.
right. You done? I'm not trying to insult you. You can imagine I'm just trying to make the best plan of attack here, and it's hard to admit when you don't have many options to skinny folk come in and say they can help get your people untrapped from tons and tons of stone. It's a little hard to fathom.
But
I'm not trying.
Admittedly, my background is primarily in laboratory science.
We all know that the people down there have limited air, and who knows what else has fucking happened down there. You can't afford to turn away people that are here to.
Oh, I'm not trying to turn you away. I'm just trying to figure out what's. So here, I'll lay it out. And if you think you can help figure it, then we can. Okay. So I just have to back up because explaining the town is built above ground, obviously, on over miles and many levels of mine below us. We have one main vertical shaft that we use to transport people and materials up and down to the sort of surface operations. It's a mile or a couple miles outside of town. The way that works is there's an elevator on a pulley system with a huge wheel that gets things sort of up and down, that sort of runs on, mules and sort of things that keep it turning when it needs to. The wheel fell down the shaft. The wheel brought, when the earthquake hit, the supports holding the wheel up destabilized. The supports and the wheel fell down the shaft, pulling rock in after them. This vertical shaft was the main point of egress and also the main ventilation shaft for the section of mine currently being excavated. There are also a couple of secondary egress points that previously faced out onto the cliff faces facing the coast. I don't know if many of the cliff faces are now completely have been buried in layers of rubble, sand, dirt, as sort of everything moves. Their egresses, our scouts were not able to locate them. We have folks still out there looking, clearing away in the general vicinity, but it's hard to tell. We don't even have the same topographical leveling there on that side anymore. And you guys think back to how the sort of where you had ascended, it didn't even look like a cliff or a hillside or like anything. It was really just a slurry. You can see how that would be hard to find, previous entrances there. Now, I have nearly 2,000 workers below ground. We haven't been able to contact them. It was mid-evening shift, and a lot of folk stay down there for 2-3 days at a time, then come back so they can do 3 days under, 4 days above, instead of doing half days every day. It's not good. But there is a couple of things working in our favor, and why I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get a rescue put together in time. We do have a secondary ventilation shaft that, as far as we've been able, our engineers can, is intact. That goes directly to the main sort of living quarters for folks staying underground. Anyone with a set even of ounce of sense would probably head there if they're able to, knowing that is the best ventilation and probably the biggest congregation point. They have some food there. Ventilation is the best chance there. But we don't currently have a way to get down there.
Okay, hear me out.
We've been...
Tie a rope around my waist in rudimentary pulley system and then I rappel down there, and then get a lay of the land, see how everyone's doing.
Down where?
Into the mines.
Through the ventilation shaft.
Through the ventilation shaft. Then we could at least get, at least one, maybe Vanya and
Yes. Fearing you don't need to rappel, I can walk on walls.
Oh shit! Right, you can.
Excuse me. You can what? You can what?
I can walk on vertical surfaces.
Vanya shows off his bunny slippers.
When this is all over, we'll have to talk about the ventilation. Certainly, it is not very big. I don't know if a humanoid would be able to fit.
What about Squip?
That's a good point.
They pull Leot, pull up the blueprints of the ventilation, please. And a dwarven woman rushes off into another room and comes back a few minutes later with another stack of diagrams and blueprints, and sort of slaps them on the table, which folks have moved over to sort of let you in this little huddle. They brought between Brock and Leot, they pull, they sort of dig through the blueprints, and find the correct, the schematics for the ventilation, part of it. And why don't, you guys give me, a check, of some kind, remember it exists. Give me there's no science check, as I always say.
I know. It's really hurtful to Vanya's entire concept.
Yeah, it's not quite. Let's go insight, perception, or survival. Well, let's go survival, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because survival is actually very apt in this moment.
Yes. In fact, I feel that perhaps
shoot. Hold on.
Might be
disadvantage.
A skill that will come in handy multiple times throughout the day. So
a 6.
Great. Great. Vanya, that is 1 hour. It's 1 hour.
Oh, never mind. Well, I'm going to cast it later then.
Great. Okay,
this is a weird one where until I clicked the dice thing, when I just opened up the spell, it wouldn't tell me how much the duration was, which is really evil to me.
It just says it. I mean, it says it on here, but I also feel like when I had it as Rosa, I think it was longer. We can talk about it.
There are different things that are similar-ish.
Yeah.
1 hour makes sense though. I thought it might be, but I had to click it to find out, which was evil.
Yeah, it is. Okay. It is 1 hour, but yeah. So we'll keep it to 1 hour. Where is that?
Oh, some 4s. I rolled several.
I was going to say is Squip and Fendir can give you the help action, but we'll give each of you can give you the help actions if you want.
Oh, okay.
Especially since you're talking about using Squip as a thing, and Fendir
knows about mines.
Yeah.
So re-roll it,
then I will.
Yeah, you can each just roll one more time, and we'll go.
Good. That one was a 5.
Yeah.
15. It's not bad.
Great. Fearing the shaft looks like it's between 2 to 4 inches. 2 to 4 inches. 2 to 4 feet wide. In diameter is the full, right? Yeah, diameter. Sophomore high school, sophomore geometry, math coming back. It looks like there is a series of sort of slats and like what's it called? Slats and
Flap?
like vents that are designed and like grates that are designed to keep like solid material from going down intake pipe, and then the uptake, like the bad air goes out pipe, ends in a furnace to because hot air rises that brings it. And I did a lot of research on mining last night, and Anna. And so Squip might be able to fit through some of the slats, but the grates would be a problem. But the grates would be tough to get through.
Man,
So
if we had a druid right now.
Yeah. You want a multi-class?
No.
Reclass?
I love that Vanya is not primarily living the spellcaster lifestyle because it means he's alive.
Yeah, this Brock sort of examines the ventilation system and the main the worry I have with we haven't considered it so far is if somebody tried to go down it and they got stuck, then we're potentially damning the people even more than they already are being trapped underground at the moment. But what we have been looking at is the mine is hundreds and hundreds of years old. Sort of was expanded or we're always able to somehow. There's always a new vein to be found, so we sort of followed the ore, and we sort of close off where we can the old abandoned sections, but I've sort of maybe lost count of and lost track of some of the old entrances, but in theory they could get somebody underground, and there's a chance there's some sort of clear path since the tunnels are also sprawling. The main issue has been we don't, as I said, we have a map of the contemporary sections. It's been sort of my mission in my stewardship is to sort of keep better track of things than my predecessors, but here is sort of the known thing, and he sort of shows you sort of a layout of like a neatly like a pretty organized, like a little bit organic. If there's sort of some turns and twists and things, but like for the most part, like it's like a pretty like logically laid out, mine that you can sort of see all the thought that went into this. It's structured. It's engineered. It's all they have a giant vertical shaft and things like that. And then here, and he sort of points to different places on the map, is sort of where we know those go to the old mines, but we don't necessarily exactly have the layouts or where they go, because once they're dried out, we don't really need to know. And so we've been looking over the hills, the hills and the sort of closer to town and sort of away from the cliffs to see if we can find one, in hopes that it's something. But like I said, most of the people who I would be willing to sort of send off into the unknown are already in it. So if you all say you're willing to help, I think the best help would be to see if you can find a way in.
Certainly.
Of course.
Let me, we'll, and he sort of turns back and sort of motions with his arm again for again, and sort of uses his bandaged shoulder and sort of mining accident, if you wouldn't believe. Let me we'll take you for a tour of the sort of mine site and just show you the sites, and we can maybe you have just outsider ideas. We're 2 days in, and we sort of have these couple ideas of where these maybe old abandoned entrances are, but that's sort of all we got. Yeah. So, he offers to sort of show you guys to the mine collapse site, or to the sort of the foothills, so not foothills, but like, like the sort of rocky, like cliffs and areas that are sort of like craggy and it's not flat ground, I'll say. It's and sort of even more earthquakes where it's all a little bit topographically changed from the past.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to?
They don't have any like mine sniffing dogs.
So the secondary ventilation shaft is definitely a no-go, correct? Like we couldn't like kick out the vents as we go.
Why don't Leah, get the guy who does the ventilation. The scrawny one, the points like Leah, this, little sort of messy brown haired dwarven girl, young woman, scurries out of the room, and a few minutes later returns with a straight up nerd of a dwarf, whose name is Dorgo.
Okay.
Dorgo?
Dorgout. Dorgout.
Okay.
I picked a really bad dwarf name generator when I was Googling that.
It's okay.
It was not a very good list, so I went with the,
Yeah, I like it. I just needed to make sure I have it
Yes.
down correctly.
Yeah. Let's why don't we just go and we'll show you the ventilation shaft and we can see what we think. Dorgout can sort of advise on that. Great. So you all can sort of set off. It's about like a mile and a half, 2 miles from the sort of town proper to the like mine entrance where the shaft is. So about 40 minutes later, it's like down a road, it's a dusty road, but it's a road. It's a little bit, not as kept as it was maybe a week ago. A lot of rocks and things over it. A couple of like scraggly, like dried tree, like bushes sort of, pushed to the side that probably weren't there there. Until you guys all come up on the mine, which is it doesn't really look like that much from above ground right now because it's a mine and it's underground. And a lot of the large structures that were previously above ground have also collapsed. So you sort of come up and you see what looks like basically a sinkhole with some large steel support beam sort of sticking out towards the end. And then there is like a large like house-looking structure, building structure right next to it that would hold the winch for the shiv wheel. And then there's also another that is seemingly the ventilation shaft that you all can approach. Yeah, why don't you give me investigation checks? And you can do a flat for the same Dorgout.
Vanya's rolling a lot of 4s today. I've rolled 4 d20s today, and 3 of them have been 4s.
Yikes.
That's crazy.
The other one was a 5.
Yikes.
That is crazy.
Vanya.
You all look in and sort of Dorgout is able to procure a ladder for you to sort of climb it because it is like probably like five-ish feet above ground, sort of again to keep things from falling into it. And at the very top there is a fine wire mesh grate, and then you see a series of like slat vent things that are all currently open. And then there is, I mentioned, a return shaft sort of on the other side of the building. And that is the one that has a fire at its bottom. So immediately sort of says, I think if you're going to do one, probably better to do one without the furnace at the bottom. And also because that one would be, that one is returning bad air, so it'll be worse for you while you're doing it, especially if you land in the fire. But there's less chance of blocking the good oxygen, the good air from getting to our friends.
Could we like pull water down that shaft to put out the fire?
Do you have anything to start a fire back up?
Right. Once we stop that fire, the clock starts ticking because their concentration of carbon dioxide will begin increasing.
I like you.
How
Thank
is
you.
the bad air shaft like the same width as the good air shaft?
Yeah, about it's like a couple feet. It wouldn't be impossible for a humanoid, but it wouldn't be comfortable. There's no guarantee because of the slats have sort of like an inner ring inside to like hold them and like for them to like rest on. But based on if someone was
An oil
okay with
trap?
tools and could someone was okay with tools and was able to dismantle the vents as they went and had narrow shoulders and waists and everything else and was able to do that, then there is a chance, but then
What if
yeah,
we poured
there is
acid down the intake shaft?
Ooh.
Would that... I know that the slats would have to be put back in later, but would that potentially dissolve the slats, and then we could pour water after to make sure that whoever climbs down would not be in contact with acid?
We could send a Squip down with the acid to make sure it's only getting on the slats themselves.
that was my worry. Pouring acid down a tube where a bunch of people are crammed together in a chamber was going to be a concern. But that would probably solve it.
We could also send Squip down with a little note or something. So like,
what is this Squip you speak of?
Sorry. Squip climbs onto her shoulder. And makes some little robo monkey noises.
What are you? Whoa! Oh, can
I guess. Squip, is that okay with you?
Yes.
And Squip's kind of like, sure. but monkey. Yeah.
You are... This is Dorgout is obsessed.
Vanya will open up his notebook and show Dorgout some of his notes and diagrams on how Squip works.
I mean, I didn't build the thing, but I did repair it, so I could tell you how it works.
Very clever little thing.
My sister made him.
Your sister is very clever.
Yeah. She
As is Siren.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
But my thought is we could send Squip down the shaft with the acid to clear the way, and maybe also give him a little note so that if he runs into people down there, he could give that note to someone to say, hey, we're gonna try and help. and explain what we're doing. And maybe we could also give like a pen or something to them so that they could write a note back as Squip climbs back up.
Can Squip fly?
No, but it's a monkey, so it can climb.
Because it's a bit of a drop once they're in the tube goes to the top of a chamber.
Hang on. Because, so as a robot machine, Squip doesn't need to breathe air, right?
Presumably.
Yeah,
so
I think
Squip
I think it says it in his blog.
He could use the eagle whistle indefinitely, couldn't he?
But he can't expel air.
Yeah, he cannot. Yeah, a device that specifically works based on how long is not able to be powered.
He does have
It's also a magic item, and he can't. With magic items that.
Yeah.
I thought I'd put my devious thought out there.
Hey, I don't knock the hustle.
He does have clockwork cunning, which doesn't specifically say that he's good at dismantling things, but it does say the monkey is attuned to the working of machines. It has advantage on checks made to detect hidden mechanical objects, recognize clockwork mechanisms, or intuit the function of simple mechanical devices. In this way, would he give him like an advantage of being able to take out the vents using the acid and maybe like in the most efficient way so that he has plenty of it to go down the entire shaft?
Uniquely qualified in this way. Can
we build him a tiny hang glider or parachute?
Okay, Vanya, what do you want to check? Do you want to make to make Squip a hang glider or parachute? Please tell me what materials you have in your pack and that you are making this out of, and the ability that you're using to check.
I will say, in this case, it was not me asking the DM thing. It was me going, do we have any ideas for how we would do that?
Yeah, so all I'm saying is you're welcome to tell me how you would do that with what you have in your character sheet.
Yeah, well, in that case, never mind.
Okay, hear me out. I do have some fucking crochet yarn. So we could make that like the little straps and then get like some spare cloth or something.
We have cultist robes.
We have cultist robes. I'm sure they have spare cloth or something. They'd be willing to give up for this. I don't really want to cut them up though, in case we need them.
We might need them.
You want to make a parachute for Squip to use if he...
Well, because you said there's kind of a drop at the bottom.
Yeah, because it's the top of a big cavern.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon, you see Squip sort of hops back to you from where Dorko had been sort of examining him, and sort of hops from your shoulder to the sort of precipice on the top of the shaft, the tube, and sort of peers down, and then sort of turns back to you, sort of hearing the talk of making a parachute. It sort of mimics how much fun it would be to parachute down, but then does sort of mime a dramatic flat on the ground. But it sort of like looks game to try it.
I was so scared you were going to be like, Squip's scared of heights. And I was like...
He's in many ways not bound to the same laws of emotion because he is, in essence, he is a clockwork being of some kind, but also he does have a spirit to him. So there's sort of those factors there.
Okay. What if instead of him reaching the floor, what if we just have him clear the way to the base of the shaft and then drop a note down that basically says, hey, we're coming to help.
Fend your sorry, go ahead. Okay.
Because if we use rope to sort of tie a little harness around Squip's waist, as he climbs down and does all this, we can have that, and then we can slowly lower him using the rope when he gets down there.
That's a
and then when
way
he's ready,
smarter
we can pull him
idea.
At this point, Fendir sort of chimes in and says, not to be a downer,
Someone should.
But what exactly is the plan after Squip is lowered to the ground with a rope? What is Squip going to do to get folks out?
Well, I think right now the best we can do is to get some communication going. Since we have to at least get an idea of what the situation is down there.
Because Squip is small and light, it would be less of a risk for Squip to climb around and explore down there than for any of the people that do it. So he could also climb around, explore, maybe figure out the lay of the land a bit without risking disturbing any of the rocks or rubble.
The thing is, I also don't want to leave him down there alone. I mean, I know he'll be presumably with, survivors, but also I don't want him to be down there for too long without me.
If for communication's the goal, I mean, I do have, I am able to cast the sending spell, and I do know, as I mentioned, some of the iron brought out loud. I could get a message if the folks I know are with anybody else, if they're alive, then that's one way without risking the little guy. But I also, should we just full send and just?
I think
pop down and bust our way out.
Given the stability of the ground, bust our way out seems rather dangerous.
We could potentially have. I know I seem very fixated on the note idea, but I think it might be a little better than just the sending spell, because I think that has some word limit to it. I don't know. But also they could draw a map of what they can see as far as what tunnels have collapsed or things. That way we could have not eyes down there, but at least a better idea of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be good for me to save my power for if we can get to people and start helping out folks who are hurt and what have you. So saving a slot, or as we say, don't bother me none. I just didn't want you all to feel like I was holding back or not being a team player. I guess whatever you guys think. Okay, so you guys are gonna send Squip down somehow with a.
Yeah, we're gonna tie a rope around Squip's
Great.
And he's going to climb down the shaft with a note, a pen, pencil, some sort of writing device, and I'm assuming a vial of acid that Vanya has.
Squip will take the alchemy jug.
The alchemy jug!
1 second. what does the text of alchemy jug say?
I got you. Let me read you that. All right. The alchemy jug. This ceramic jug appears to be able to hold a gallon of liquid and weighs 12 pounds whether full or empty. Sloshing sounds can be heard from within the jug when it is shaken, even if the jug is empty. I can use an action and name one liquid from the table below to cause the jug to produce the chosen liquid. Afterward, Squip can uncork the jug as an action and pour that liquid out, up to 2 gallons per minute. The maximum amount of liquid the jug can produce depends on the liquid you named. In the case of acid, that is 8 ounces, which in the case of acid, I think is the plenty. Once the jug starts producing a liquid, it can't produce a different one or more of one that has reached its maximum until the next dawn.
I have a possible qualm. Hold on, let me.
12 pounds
Squip.
seems like a lot for a tiny creature to carry.
It's actually my bigger issue. Squip doesn't have language.
So here's the thing. While we're up here, I can tell the jug to produce acid, and then it will have 8 ounces of acid in it until dawn that Squip can uncork and pour out.
I see what you mean. So it only needs one trigger word, not each time you use it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay, Vanya, I will allow that. I will, and we'll say there are, between Fendir and Dorgout, they are able to sort of remove the top, like the topmost layer of screen mesh that is behind the very top to keep out large particles. And then it looks like you can sort of see the cross hatches of them. There are 3 different vents that Squip would need to melt out of the way. I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to say this to sort of be able to handle the logistics of a tiny monkey holding a large jug and sort of maneuvering.
The other option for the size and weight is that we, for the climbing parts of it at least, put the jug in the bag of holding and strap the jug of holding onto Squip, the bag of holding onto Squip like a little kindergartner backpack.
I think the bag of holding is bigger than Squip is.
Yes? Okay. Carry on.
Because Squip could fit in the bag of, another you maybe would put him in there, but if Squip can hide in between like your coat pockets and things, he's a little guy. But no, he can do the jug. It'll just be and he's not exhausted. He was coasting along when you guys were climbing yesterday because
he's also immune to being exhausted, so
they exactly. We'll say sleight of hand checks. DC 10. It shouldn't be too hard. He has a +4 to them. But we'll say that each attempt takes 2 ounces of acid, and so if he fails more than 1, it might be hard, and he might need to come up with another thing.
I'm working on fact-checking my acid thing to see if this is actually a plausible quantity of acid. What would you say these grates are made of?
What's a normal metal? Like steel, aluminum?
I was thinking steel, maybe.
I mean, they're pretty thin. They're like it's just like, and like there's sort of the slats that are sort of like affixed at the end, so it could kind of just be on the screws themselves. I'm, 8 ounces. I mean, this is 8 ounces is half a water bottle. It's like one of those.
Let's see. I'm going to assume hydrochloric acid to start with, because that's kind of.
Maybe we can not look at the sciencey stuff of it. We're just going to say, that about 2 ounces of it, because he's a little monkey, he's a little guy, used to doing these things, but he's pretty good with his hands. He's, handy. So we will have him roll his best stat.
Yeah.
And
The only thing he has proficiency in.
yes.
He's a good little.
Because he's a dexterous little guy. So, Anna, why don't you roll his first sleight of hand check? And I'll say that Fendir will give him one.
Advantage, you said?
Yeah, well, yeah, you guys are sort of guiding him with the rope holding on. So we'll say he has the help action and he'll have guidance on the first one. That's a +4.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the odds are in your favor here. Oh, that is great. I'll say, what do you also want to figure out put together your, I assume you're going to want to put together your message.
Oh, right.
Right.
Probably we're trying to figure out a way to help. Please let us know the status of things and what shafts have collapsed or something like that, like to give us the lay of the land. Something to that extent, but I'm sure better put.
Great. Okay. Squip. You guys, there is from the sort of the topmost vents, not that far down, you see Squip's able to sort of very handily pour the acid right on the right screw and then sort of push the vent out of the way. And then you're able to lower him further, probably another number of feet, because I don't want to quantify anything and do it. But yeah, lower him down to where the sound is. And we'll say, yeah, this one can, no guidance, because Fendir could only do it once, no longer touching.
Does he still have advantage?
We'll say advantage on this one. I think that by the third, the next, anything after this one will be probably.
It's just straight. Okay.
Yeah. This one can be with advantage. All right, second one handily. The second one disappears. You see it's mostly just shadows now because it's an awkward thing of like pretty narrow tube with the sunlight going down. But you hear sort of a little bit of an echo as that one moves aside, and then we're able to skip some number of feet the rope. How much rope do you have between you? I mean, the climbing kits have what, 50? Yeah, I think you probably have it.
And I'm sure they would also give us rope.
Yeah. I just, and then so lower script till sort of rope goes slack and resting on the third set of slats, and this one will be with just flat.
It doesn't say he has dark vision or anything, but should he? I don't know.
I don't know either. I think no right now, but we could talk about if Fear wants to try to give him night vision later, dark vision later. Because goggles of night are a whole thing, so I'd be like I'm going to say, yeah.
Okay, so just a normal sleight of hand check. Squip, you got this, little buddy. You got this. You don't got this. Fuck. Okay.
You hear a little bit of a sort of a metallic shriek as Squip maybe squeals a little, maybe having spilled a drop on his hand and missed his target as hoped. But Squip can try again with the last bit of acid. So he's used 6 ounces, and he has 2 more ounces to go.
This little buddy.
This little Squip of yours. He's gonna open those doors.
What was the DC?
Great. Okay. I had said 10. So
thank God.
this one, instead of this last one, you hear a sizzle, a distant sizzle, and then a little bit another squeal, a metallic squeal shriek as the slack that you had in the lowering the rope sort of tightens again as Squip falls like a foot or two, just from, and then don't really hear the dropping of the metal, thinking it's probably too far below from where you are at that point to have heard. And then, Squip is free hanging. So you guys can continue to lower him down after a number of and there's a bunch of, it's a mining place, there's stuff, so it's not a big deal. After some time, and he have reached some surface because the there's no more like rope to it goes slack again in that. Your familiar, your clockwork familiar is underground. Amazing.
Sorry.
Squip is underground. Eventually, at some point, you eventually feel a pull on the rope again, and the sort of pulley winch is sort of wound around, starts going as Squip is apparently running a little bit of a marathon wherever he is. After and then eventually you see it stops again. And in a couple of minutes, there's more rope comes out. Stops again. Yeah. Here and roll me a blind GM roll for me with the D20.
Oh boy.
Just a D20?
Yeah, I'll add the modifiers I need.
Terrifying.
Oh no.
Great. This is the first time I think I've ever heard an oh no from a D20, from a nat 20. Oh, I forgot that you guys couldn't see it. Oopsie. Well, hey, you did really good. I completely forgot I'm a silly goose, and that was the first time I ever heard that
information.
Fearin, after how long would Fearin wait until she got nervous? Was she feeling all this movement sort of things going around?
It probably would have been like, okay, when you have the return note, like tug twice on the rope when you're ready to get back up. Because Squip understands basic commands. And I think that's basic enough.
Great. After it feels like forever. It's probably about 15, 20 minutes.
And she is so nervous, especially after she heard him cry out in pain. She is like so nervous.
Yeah.
Vanya is showing Durga his fossil. You gave him another nerd.
Dorgo starts telling Vanya about the history of the region and how there were floods centuries and centuries ago, and how his assumption that assertion that it probably was from when water levels were different, or probably very true to life, and how this is actually very exciting, and how the coastlines and sort of like cliff levels of Rodona used to be like very different from what they can tell like record, but archaeology is not Dorgout's sort of specialization. It's just sort of a special interest of his. And there is, but yeah, the folks who do specialize in that would really like, maybe. So yeah, he really congratulates Vanya on a great
lifestyle.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, what?
Has Durgat ever considered the monastic lifestyle?
Vanya, roll me a persuasion check.
Are you? What is this? What... Are you trying to convert her to your religion?
Not religion per se, just if he would like to come live with a bunch of other scientists and librarians.
It's a league of like spiritual scholars.
Unfortunately, this is Vanya we're talking about, and persuasion is not within.
Yeah. No. I've not considered the monastic lifestyle. I'm quite like I'm an engineer, quite a prestigious calling here in Rodona. I'm in charge of safety and lives of many. That's why I'm here helping you.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Dorga sort of, for the first time, sort of gives on Vanya like a little bit of side eye. Fear and after, well, that happens. Fear after two tugs on the rope, and you Squip back up. It's a little bit harder than it was before, pulling up a little guy instead of letting him down. But after a few minutes, he is back up and hops into your arm. You see the tips of one of his fingers is a little bit not melt. It's not. It's not like Vanya's finger. It's not. No. It's a little bit like, but like a little bit mouth warped. Say like it's not gone, but it's a little bit like if he were made of organic material, he probably his finger. But he's okay for the most part. And he hops back into your arm with a piece of paper in his hands. That I am going to take a moment right now to figure out what.
Kieran's just gonna be so happy that he's okay, and for the most part, and like back in her arms, and she's gonna like fuss over him. And she immediately starts trying to get to work to like fix up his finger to make it better.
Great. Roll a tinker. You can roll a tinker tools check in the meantime. If it's above 15, you got it.
That's just a straight intelligence roll, correct? I believe.
Yes, with disadvantage for today.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I'm not rolling too bad.
Disadvantage can't stop you.
Great. Fearin, you
either.
Fearin, you describe how you set about fixing Squip's warped finger while I do some things.
Yeah, she's just gonna take out her tools and like try to like bend the metal back into its proper shape, check to make sure all of the clockwork, if it got, damaged, she will try to like quickly do like a quick little fix. She'll like heat up the metal plating that would have been covering the tip of his finger and like bend it back into shape using some sort of open flame, whether like a little candle or like a something or other. and it won't be perfect, but it'll be like good enough where she's not worried, and she can do like a better, more thorough job when she finally like when they can sit down and rest for a while. But it's good enough for now. And I feel like when you're done writing the note, she would have probably handed that off to someone else first before she went and tended to little Squip.
I really don't know how Jared did it when he would like write all my his notes for me to me from like Cyrus and things like in the moment, and I'm like, for some reason it's harder to write it than it is to say it out loud.
DM multitasking is insane.
I miss him. That asshole.
Real.
I saw a cardinal today or this morning, and I was like, "Oh, he wanted to come say hi on D&D Day. That's so sweet of him."
So kind.
Did you see the Mercy Sworn YouTube channel I made for us?
That's what I like
it.
I thought it was cute.
And we're so official now.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Squip bounds back up. The pipe leaps into Fion's arms, flourishing, holding out the back of the same piece of paper that the note had. The first note had been on, written in a scrawled, messy hand, stained with dirt and dust. Fion, you said you would hand it off. So Vanya, it lands you as Fion sets. And you receive and put it in lore and reference material, and receive back messy scribbles, illegible in some points, through the panic and adrenaline that is coursing through everyone in the below ground right now. And Vanya, why don't you read it out loud for us so we can feel like part of the ambiance?
Oh, morale bad. People started disappearing is not good. Right, so what do we think?
Okay, 902 and dead now. 148 died in initial collapse. Don't know where rest are. Okay on rations and water for now. Many injured, can't help. But trying to dig out path to cliffside, suffered a lot during collapse. 3 other tunnels seem intact, lead deeper in, but folks started disappearing. 26 accounted for. Decided safer to stay in group. Morale bad. Send help. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, so trying to dig to the cliffside. Should we move efforts there so that we can try to dig out that path faster so that they can meet potentially?
If we could potentially send Squip down with a compass and they could figure out perhaps the bearing and the angle on which they're trying to dig, it would be easier to find where that would come out and try to beat them. There's certainly a risk of destabilizing everything with trying to dig out, but I don't know that there's a solution that doesn't involve a risk of destabilizing the entire structure. So
Dorgo pipes up. Well, miners, they're pretty good at shoring up their work. So that the earthquakes, landslides, they don't help, but they got a pretty good grasp on when things can't be moved more, or when they can be. Not that that's surefire, but don't they're pretty. They know how the rock works. They know how the stone works too. So
good.
Right. So we could do that. Or did they draw a map or of like where those tunnels?
I forgot that you had they sort of, when they say that that seemed to lead deeper in, between Dorgat, who's the engineer, and Liat, who's still with you, but she's a very quiet person. And Brock is sort of out on the sort of talking to some folks over in the commanders here. They can sort of draw you in the dirt, a sort of map, sort of showing where the three tunnels are. Three tunnels where the tunnels would have been in the original den. There were since it was sort of a central gathering place, and then which side the seaside cliff egress point would be, but also sort of bring up again that the problem with that the topography of that has so totally changed from the outside that it's sort of hard to even pinpoint where the sloping of the tunnel and sort of thing, how that plays. That it is, that was their challenge initially, but nothing to say you can't try to find it yourselves if you would like to try.
Okay. With this new knowledge, what does Brock think?
Brock takes a look at the note, comes back over, takes a look at the note, and his sort of head falls. 148 dead on my watch. More still missing. They didn't mention who didn't sign a name or
No.
Okay. I'm of a couple thoughts. One is that we get folks in there who can patch up the ones who were injured. Probably would make the excavation work go by a bit faster. Probably one of the easiest ways that more folks can help dig out the tunnel to the shortest known egress path. That's probably one option.
We send Whip down with some sort of medical kit, bandages.
Roll me, Bonnie. You can roll a survival check for me. You guys can both roll with advantage from the help actions from your gathered party.
Come on, Vanya.
Hey, go.
Great. Vanya, you think that while you don't know the extent of any specific injuries or folks down there, because obviously you can't see them, that probably think that they would probably, guessing that with the extent of probably would need some sort of greater healing, magical 8 hours resting that you can't really get if you're in a mine.
You know what? That sounds.
Then that Squip could, in theory, he could bring it down some things, but it wouldn't really help significantly increase the number of able folks down there.
Have Squip take them down to Spider-Man Band-Aids.
Yes.
Okay, maybe this is a dumb idea, but I think any ideas are better than none. So what if we...
Here.
What if we dug out around this ventilation shaft to, expand it and dug down to them? Then we could get healers down there and start getting people out potentially. Do you think that's something that could be done?
Brock sort of turns the idea over in his mind. The thoughts sort of, you could see on his face the company man, like that sort of actually when people are good at managing people, sort of turning it over in his mind, thinking about, looks to dork out and sort of dork out sort of with in his mind. It wouldn't not work, but it would take a fair amount of time, and it would also, pardon me for saying it, but would like to keep the structures intact so that we can get the mine back in functioning order when we have gotten people out. I
also had another thought. Did the main shaft collapse inward, or was it just the cog that fell down and now we don't have the
inward
to
yeah, so it brought you can why don't you go over, you can roll perception. You can also roll that flat, because there's so many of you. Great. You can go over to sort of the edge of the sort of, looks like a sink, like just sort of a sinkhole from this point. There are some gaps between some things where, dirt didn't flow. Like, it would be a treacherous descent downward of some kind, that you can always try.
I don't know, Vanya, what do you think? You look like you have your thinking face on.
He always has that face on, Fendir says.
Because he's always thinking.
My usual face. If we were able to determine the trajectory of sorts of the tunnel out that they're trying to dig, do you believe it would be efficient to try and go in from the other end and meet them in the middle?
I think the problem is we don't know where the other end is.
If we were to perhaps have Squip take down a compass, they could figure out the bearing of the digging they're doing. We could go to where that would lead out.
Brock chimes in. Does he chime in? Yeah, he does chime in. Like I said, we have people scouting the cliff sides to find those egress points where they once were. Last scout I heard, messenger I heard, hadn't made any progress. The main issue you'd run into that down there with the compass is that you sort of really need you need sort of the 3 dimensions of also the altitude within the stone. There also is down there that could affect the magnetic pole.
That makes sense.
Most folks, actually, just check some. Which is why we sort of haven't been putting our main energy into doing that. But I mean, if you have science to help more with that, maybe you would have luck where my people did not. I think the main thing I would like to see is getting people who aren't injured into the mind and getting to those people, especially if they've only accounted for 1,100 odd folks. That's almost 900 people who are sort of left to fend for themselves. Who knows how many of them are in a position or state where they can do that, where they can, I would really appreciate it if you guys would try.
Absolutely.
Some kind.
So I know you were mentioning the abandoned area of the mines earlier, the older portion.
Yeah.
Did you say we could get into there?
It'd be another issue of having to find the entrances, but those entrances were from sort of the old artwork and things from that time, mostly built above ground. So a little bit more of a indication of where they were versus the ones on the cliffside that would have been turned to rubble. We have some vague sense of where they are within the rocks and hills, just not the exact bit of the west. But we have some starting points. that of which the landmarks have changed slightly less than the cliffside.
How old is that portion of the mines? Like, is it old enough, like, where there still might be a retired miner that would have worked there in the glory days, or is it beyond that?
Baron, why don't you roll me a history check, and Brock will give you advantage, and Fender will give you guidance as sort of the check for Brock doing it, sort of thinking back.
Yikes.
Oof.
Roll a find grandpa.
Well, there's old lady Mina, but, well, she's blind now, didn't work in the mines.
Plot twist. She
doesn't talk much. Her memory's going a bit. But she's great at cards.
Would she like to become an adventurer? I like the sound of her.
She sounds great.
No, most folks who it's a living, but it's not a long one, if you know what I mean.
Sheesh.
Oh. Hey, like adventuring.
There's heard there are a lot of parallels sort of in our delving into unknown darkness and things like that. Miners and adventurers are one and the same in that regard. What I've heard. But we do have, and he'll pull out sort of surrounding areas, not quite the mine, not a mile or two, path sort of off the road itself, and there are sort of like X's spots that they think based on like records and artwork and sort of journals and sort of what they could piece together from years prior, times past, that those are sort of in the past 2 days with what they've come to determine probably the three most likely and can most likely get inside to start sort of figuring out what is still functional there.
Sounds like a good starting point.
Yeah. My hope is that if we can get into the older part of the mines, we could, like... I know it's not well mapped, like you said, so we could, like, maybe do a trail of chalk or something as we go, so that we know where we've been and where we haven't.
Absolutely. Brock will hand you the map, Fearin, that the map of the sort of above ground entrances that the possible would be. And then forgot hand Vanya a box of chalk to use as breadcrumbs. And the reason that May and I are laughing when I asked May to
I'm sorry.
Magic items or whatever. May back?
Yeah.
You're kind of cutting in and out a little. I assumed it was my computer. Apparently it's not.
I try changing my body. Better?
Maybe.
Say something.
Have you heard me say anything for the past 10 seconds?
There.
Now I'm hearing you.
Now you're saying things.
Okay, well, great. I just changed it back to the same one that was on, so
Awesome.
good.
Love it.
And the reason May and I were breadcrumbs because when May sent me her wish list for Vanya, just so I have it on record, she had sent me a screenshot, separate message saying, I found his adventuring key. Screenshot. I didn't exciting, cool item was, and when I opened it, it was chalk. One piece.
Adventuring gear worth 1 copper piece.
And so I had in my head been like, okay, I'm gonna find. And then it came up really, actually very. So inspiration to both of you.
Yay! Inspiration.
Moment of just teeing up a really fun thing, and but yes, Dorgat has some from a bag of sort of chalk from being an engineer. I don't know, they were various crayon things, and give you a bag of that.
Lots of Crayola.
Yeah, well, not crayons. I guess Crayola does chalk too. But yeah, a bag of chalk pieces or chalk sticks. But you have I don't know. The chalk is all bright pink for fun.
Cool.
Great. And you guys, any other rock says, don't mind, I will take my leave to go direct, coordinate on the other efforts, make sure the rest of my people stay safe and above ground. If you need anything, here, and they'll load you up with. He'll have Leon come over and he'll give you two health potions. And sort of, it's not much, but
it's honest.
I have 2 kids down, but but I got 2 kids down there, and really hoping that what bug?
Oh no!
Sorry, there was a tickle.
Oh, that's very, very fair. Bugs are evil.
If you encounter if you encounter my 2 children, whose names I know for sure,
one of the first qualifiers of fatherhood, in fact, their names,
Elgor and sorry, this has no girl names on it, and that's really rude. Elgor is the son, and the person that Fendir would know, probably. And
Algorina.
That would be something. Another name, Laura.
And
Sure, why not?
Sounds good.
What a bad list. There's no girl-looking names on that one. Tell him. Or don't tell him. Bring him back. Bring him. Dig him out. They're probably fine. They're strong kids. And he takes his leave. Liat, his assistant, sort of scurrying after him. She always kind of looks a little bit scared, a little bit scurrying. And Dorgout goes, sort of salutes at Firan in a way that someone who probably should never salute in their life would do, and sort of gives Vanya a little bit of a side eye by their last. Vanya sort of sounding like an Emily, and going to be working on plans to draw the shiv wheel up out of the thing and figuring out that leverage. That's my next few weeks. So I'll take my leave. Hope you find the people and fossil, but not of the people.
Yes.
Yeah, if we make decent progress, I'm sure Fendir would, if he can, send a message to you.
Fendir, yes, I'll probably direct it Brock, no offense, Dorgout, but we'll send
man
word.
In charge, yeah.
Yes. We'll send word if we're able, and if we have the resources to let you know, and if we do that, and we can figure out a way to communicate where the tunnel's leading, the progress, or how to get people in and out, we do our best.
Do not worry. Unless something particularly strange and outlandish has occurred, none of the people who are involved in the collapse will have had a chance to fossilize yet.
Fendir looks at Vanya.
We should take our leave.
Yeah. Vanya, it's when you say things like that people side-eye you and think that you're a little bit off-putting.
Dorgout said that he hoped we would not find the fossils of the people. And I wanted to reassure him that was extremely unlikely.
Fenrir pats Vanya on the shoulder as you all walk on.
Vanya made a friend and immediately ruined it by being the U-Haul lesbian of science monks.
The U-Haul lesbian of science monks. Can we put that in the quotes?
I'm working on it.
Yay!
He was immediately like, do you want to move in with my order of monks? Now that we're friends.
Little offended I didn't get that treatment. I mean, the answer's no, but like, still.
Don't think he thinks we're smart enough for him, Firan.
I mean, he's right about me, at least. I don't know.
I would not want to pressure anyone into joining the order regardless, but I only suggested it to Dorgout because he seemed to already have particular interests that were fitting. I am not certain that you two would enjoy yourselves in the same way in the order.
I sure as hell wouldn't. Let's go find this mine entrance.
I agree.
Why don't you, everyone roll me, we'll say, against survival. Survival or perception or investigation, and you can roll flat. With Fendir will help, and Squip can help.
A decent roll.
Better than me.
We both
Great.
did pretty good, I'd say.
On a 22, this is more about how much time it takes, because you sort of have 3 places to go. You Vanya, with your sort of knowledge of like topography, and Fendir helps the logistics of that. You're able to like narrow it down into sort of the most likely. And within about an hour, you are at the first sort of X on the map that you've decided to go to. And after sort of, you sort of are between a bunch of very long boulders, sort of all together in this sort of pretty desolate landscape. It's a whole lot of scrubby grass, green. After some minutes of sort of searching on the spot on the map, you spot a sort of what looks at first just to be a gap between 2 rocks, but then you notice that there is sort of a post propping something up. And a closer inspection, a hook or a lantern. And you come across what is a crumbling stone entrance with that has sort of been over the years sort of filled up, but you could see beyond that there is sort of a dark hole and some sort of now desiccated, rotted wood had once maybe been nailed the frame, but has sort of fallen in the years. The entrance around the sort of leading into the sort of cave entrance, cavernish area, crumbling pretty bad. But you can roll. You can roll an insight, not insight, a nature check. Still flat. We'll just call it flat. Well, there's
both of us are just Vanya.
You both can.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, between the three of you and Fendi, is sort of able to offer their particular intelligence. It looks like that the stone is old and maybe sort of events. It doesn't look like it's in danger of immediately collapsing, and that would be a safe, relatively speaking, way. Once you you all sort of clamber, sort of blocking us off a little bit, and come into from a small entrance into a rather wider chamber, supported in a few spots by old but still sturdy. And at the center of the chamber, an old derelict wooden elevator that seemingly goes down to the depths below of a crumbling mine shaft.
I will say we've been marking with chalk as we go.
Yeah. Yes, you're like still like basically in the entry room, but yeah, you can put a big mark on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sign that you were there. And yes. Yeah, there's a crumbly, like derelict wooden elevator in the center of this chamber.
Let's get in. Listen to some smooth jazz on the way down.
Okay, right. I don't mean to sound like a coward, but Vanya, can you test to see if it can hold weight? Because if you fall, you can at least try and catch yourself with your spider slippers.
Bonnie will step on in.
May, how much does Vanya weigh?
Okay, so I feel like we've almost thought about this before.
Because he's 6'4", 6'5".
I think we said he's 6'4".
Yeah, so Vanya takes a step onto the elevator platform. And his suddenly there's no platform below him as it collapses. Vanya.
Awesome. Hold on while I click the button for slow fall.
Yep. Vanya will drop 100 feet below. So roll, and then 100 feet is.
Well, it's not roll. It's just 5 times my lung level.
Oh yeah. Okay.
One. I'm gonna roll 5 times 5.
1d6, so that's for every 10 feet. So that's going to be our 10d6. Wait, is that correct? Yes. 1d6 for every. Minus 41 minus 25 is 16.
Okay. I think so. I'll take 16 off.
Great. Vanya, yeah.
And as
you
hear sort of Doppler affected. It is not safe.
Yeah. So Fearin, you and Fendi are staying in a chamber with a elevator shaft that with a rusty winch above and no platform. What are you gonna do?
A good thing we have climbing gear. So I assume we can just like anchor down and rappel down the shaft. Are you okay, Vanya?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Did Vanya mark chalk down the side of the shaft as he
slowed his fall with his monk skills, he held out both of his hands, a piece of chalk in each, and just down the wall.
Great. Great.
And the friction he caused with this chalk is what slowed his fall.
Yeah, Fearin, roll me athletics, and so will Fendir, just to sort of see how smooth, with your climbing gear properly in place. You have the time to fix it. It's not so much, it's more about the time it takes and how smooth you do it. So Fendir is not a good climber. Fearin's also not doing so great. It does take quite a while. Half hour it takes them to belay down the 100 feet.
Could
Fendir sort of shivering on the rope as they are afraid to look down.
Could Vanya take a short rest during that time if he needs to get the hit dice back?
I'll say it's not quite the full hour, so no.
Fair enough.
But never knock the hustle. But yeah, so you all land in the bottom of this dusty elevator shaft.
You get down. Bonnie is like holding a cool bug he found and playing with it.
And yeah, it is dark, and there is a long hallway stretching before you as you face down what looks to be a long trek through.
Firen has her goggles on now.
And Vanya is genetically good to go.
Great.
Let's see.
Great. I think we're actually going to call it there because
that's a great stopping point to pick.
Yes. Great. And also, I will remind myself: does Fenrir have dark vision?
Dwarves have dark vision.
Yes, he does. Yeah. I feel like at this point, they all should, but because only a couple don't. But that's okay. But yeah, when we pick back up in this world in a couple months, y'all will get to explore this abandoned half of the mine and hope to find and figure out what's going on and how to save these people, and also what those dice that you rolled meant.
I mean, the 900 since 902 ended the same way as 302 did. I was wondering if there was something there.
I don't know.
I'm worried that there's some sort of evil monsters of some kind in here somewhere, because the 26 people that went to explore the tunnels disappeared.
Yeah, I was also getting that vibe.
So not promising.
That's crazy. I don't know. And then there's another 800 that you don't know it's either.
Right. I'm sure everyone's doing very well.
Yeah. 3 people to go rescue 2,000 seems really like an easy job.
I do imagine Squip helped raise their morale a little bit, because while they were waiting for the person to write the note, maybe Squip did a little dance, and they were all
Well, see, the blind roll I had you roll that was a nat 20. Except in Squip says, to be fair, and people down there perspective, all of a sudden there would have just been acid, and then
a little clockwork monkey descends from on high.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that nat 20 was improved by some degree.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And next week we'll be back in a different continent.
Yes. And it'll be fun, and it'll go really well for everyone involved. And no one will be sad or hurt at any time.
Definitely not.
Now, when you say things like that, you know how it sounds, right?
I sure do. And I'm excited for us all.
Did I tell you that the daughter's name is Lara or Lana?
Laura. Laura.
Okay. Great. Oh, and also the barkeep's name was Fiona.
Cool.
But she didn't ask. But I wrote it down, so I figured I would tell you guys that. She was wearing a name tag. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. See you next week.
Yay. See you.
Bye.
Goodbye.